Hello all. I just had dinner with my coworkers from the job before the job I'm at now. Great time, always a great time. And they, of course, miss my stories of my men. And I only told about the two last ones, cruise guy and, mama's boy, as I'm now referring to him. And they're like, oh my God, get rid of him. And I'm like, well, cruise guy, haven't heard from him, so he's over, he's done. So, I don't know what the hell happened there, but oh my God, I'm freezing. Went from this afternoon, 52 degrees, to now it's 34. So, yeah, we were talking. It was great catching up, but expensive dinner, a very expensive dinner. It was $90 a person, which blew my budget way out of the water. And I now have, let's see, 75 cents until I get paid Friday. It's only Tuesday. And I'm going to dinner tomorrow night with my friend. We've been friends forever, but we worked together and we, long time ago. And so I'm like, holy hell. I think I'm gonna go the Homedale way because it's just easier than going down 35. And I don't know why I didn't think, and I'm sorry that I'm going to, get a little dark here. But they brought up, and they're like, oh, Nicole, ever hear the story of this guy or that guy? And it doesn't say no turn on red, so I guess I can. Yeah, so she didn't hear stories of the different guys. Oh, I think I did this last time. Oh, no, I think I did this one last time. So, no, I did the other one. Sorry, I know it's a little blurry, but you can see me a little bit better. Because I don't think I can do the one that's on my side, the driver's side, while I'm driving. I don't know. So, hopefully I don't get pulled over. If I do, oh well. This video will be cut really short. But it's really fun. The two of them are married. The one girl is engaged, lives with her boyfriend for a while now. They've been dating a long time, and he proposed, I don't know if it was before Christmas, before Valentine's Day. Not Valentine's Day. Before Christmas, before New Year's. I don't actually remember when he proposed, but sometime right before Christmas and the end of January sometime. Sorry, I just can't remember. I feel really bad, but I can't. So yeah. And the other girl has been the other girl is one of my friends that I said they've been dating probably 12 to 15 years, and she has her own place, he has his own place, and sometimes he stays at her place, sometimes she stays at his place. They're far enough apart, like as far as living distance, that it takes some effort to get there, and her to get there and him to get there. They've spent holidays together and everything, but they don't want kids. I don't think they want to get married, and it just works for them, and it's just the way it is. And so they're all in relationships, so that was a little tough. And I know that the two married ones, they'll go out together as married couples. So the other two don't go out socially. Well, not as couples, I don't think. But this is the situation that I have found myself in. And I don't know if anybody else has. Because I'm just me. Sometimes I don't get invited out to things. And sometimes my sister and brother-in-law, they'll do things, and before my sister was divorced, would invite her and her husband. My brother was married too, him and his wife, and I kind of was left out because I don't have anybody. And then there's been friends where I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were, well, it was her and her boyfriend, and her friend and her husband, and her other friend and her husband, and his friend and his girlfriend. And I'm like, so it was all couples. Well, don't not ask me. This is my thing. Don't not ask me. I didn't know if you'd be comfortable because it was all couples. It's not like you're going out on Valentine's Day and you want me, and I want you to invite me. And it's, you and another couple, or you and two other couples. This is like you're going out to hear a band that I've heard before, or mentioned I'd like to hear. Or another friend of mine wasn't asked, and she's like, oh, when did you go to that play or go see that? Oh, I would have went. And they're like, oh, it was all couples, we thought you'd feel funny. No, now I do, but invite me. Leave it up to me. It's not like you're doing a romantic thing. It'd be different if, there's this couples dance, or there's this couples this or couples that. And no, you're not. I don't expect to be asked. But the other thing is, when I was seeing the guy that was too tiny, no one really knew. My kids did, but none of my family did, because I didn't really share that, because I just felt like I didn't know where this was going, number one. Number two, sometimes, I didn't even tell some friends, because sometimes people are judgmental. And then when you said, they're like, oh, no, it's over. So, with him, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I want to see if this is going somewhere or whatever. And my sister knew, because, we check, oh, have you dated this guy? Have you talked to this guy? So we're not talking to the same guys, and sometimes we do, and I've saved her many a heartache. And she was talking to this guy, and she did meet him, but then she felt weird because, we had gone out, and it was her own thing, and she said that. She's like, oh, it's my own thing. My husband cheated on me, and I feel like, oh, my sister was seeing this guy, and and I said, we only went out like a couple of times, and it wasn't nothing, did we kiss? Yes, but that's it. And so she just felt weird. So it's her prerogative. But have you ever been in that situation, if you're single, that people don't invite you? And I can tell you this. I know there's a woman on here who mentioned that her husband passed away, I want to say 4 years ago, and she hasn't dated, and, was asking me, where I find these guys. And I was in the situation when I was getting divorced, going through my divorce. Oh my God, enough people could not invite me. And I can tell you, my one friend, God bless her. We're not as close as we were back then, but she was a godsend. She was a lifesaver. I mean, I'd get up and she was my reason to get up in the morning, because her and I were, she's like, oh, let's go for a walk. So, come on over. And I'd have coffee. And little did she know, like, my ex was giving me no money. And I had very little money. So I was trying to stretch what little money I had. And the only thing, like, I would get, like, a frozen pizza, the cheapest thing I could, or, one of those frozen meals. So her giving me, a couple of, oh, you want a cookie or a piece of, coffee cake or whatever. And we'd sit there talking, oh, I'll stay for lunch. And she'd make me, I was like, oh, I felt weird. I'm like, oh, just a half a sandwich. Then I would go home. And then sometimes I was like eating cereal out of the box, cold cereal, dry cereal, because, or like I said, frozen pizza or a frozen meal. I'd go into the dollar store. They had some refrigerator items, they started carrying them. So I'd like, oh, what can I get for $1? Or dollar store macaroni and cheese. Then I discovered it's cheaper in ShopRite. And so if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have had breakfast and lunch. Like, I wouldn't have had food to eat, because I was trying to stretch. And then I got to a point, I bought some things, and then I had this part-time little job at Children's Place. And what little money I had to stretch out gas and different things. And I was trying to drive back and forth to see my kids. And oh my gosh, it just, she does not know how much she really, like, was my rock at that point, in so many ways. So many ways she was my rock. She really was. And if it wasn't for her, I would have probably not had breakfast. I probably would have stayed in bed and just laid in bed and not got out of bed and, slept, because slept away the hunger. And I lost a lot of weight, and people are like, oh, the divorce. Partly it was, I didn't have much of an appetite. So when I did, she ordered me a little of this, a little of that. I mean, it was so, she doesn't know how big that was for me. Even though it was a little of this, a little of that. Does not know how big that was. And my sister, oh, why don't you come over? Or they're like, oh, you want a cup of coffee? Oh, I have this. And oh, I'll eat it right up, because I'm starving. They don't know this. And people took pity on me. So they were inviting me. Then that kind of wore off. It's kind of like in maybe the woman that, lost her husband, if she watches this, or anybody that's lost a spouse, husband, wife, doesn't matter. And what the hell is that noise? What about, that that pity that people surround you, like when Frank died. I mean, we weren't married, but oh God, that's another people don't, like, some people, my friend, is not their cup of tea, but her and I have had our ups and downs, but I could never ever repay her for being there for me. like me being at her house till 2 o'clock in the morning because I just couldn't bear the thought of going home. And I had such guilt, even though I did not know a lot of things about Frank, but I felt guilty that he killed himself, even though it wasn't my fault. I had nothing to do with it. Just as like, well, how did I not know that he was this depressed or he was this or that? It really, really, like, you know, I really tore myself apart. And I think I said this in another video. I asked him for space. But her, my friend, and her boyfriend, who's also my friend, but they were friends with him, thank God for them. And the wake, thank God for my cousin. None of my family went. Like, I didn't expect my ex's, you know, side of the family to go, but I expected my siblings to. Oh, my brother did. My brother did. And up until that point, me and my brother had a disagreement or argument about something. We weren't really talking. I mean, it wasn't like we were not talking, but we weren't talking, if that makes sense. Like a family phone, hey, how you doing? Yeah. But, you know, there's times, you know, we still now, like, calls me, hey, you know, we talk. But that wasn't going on. There was no texting. There was no phone calls. So that's what I mean by we weren't talking, but we were talking. You know, we were civil at things. So I'm just like, he came. He came to the hospital. My brother-in-law came to the hospital. My kids came to the hospital. And my ex even, I liked him. He was a nice guy. And before he lost his mind, my ex. And everybody was like, oh, why don't you come over for dinner? Oh, like when I was going through the divorce. So now I lost Frank, and they're, oh, why don't you come over for dinner? Why, you know, oh, you want to, oh, we're going to go to the mall. You want to go with us? Or you want to meet us there? Or, you know, oh. So, but then that faded. So, and then now I feel, it's so much time has gone by, that it just, I don't get invited to things because I'm not a couple. And they're couples. And I have friends that, trust me, we do things together and you know, who are in relationships. Oh, let's do it. But I don't get invited. Like, oh, we had some couples over, or, oh, a bunch of us went to, oh, I would have went. Why didn't you let me know? Oh, well, it was all couples. I thought you felt funny. Well, I feel weird now. So have you ever been in that situation? Or maybe you are now, where you feel like people don't invite you because they're doing couples things. And there was a time where I would have been like, oh, thanks, but no thanks. Like, we were going on this fall foliage thing. And they were dropping us off at this town. And I said, you know, it was all couples. And I said, well, I'll go if, oh, it smells like a freaking skunk. I'll go if my cousin was going. He's a guy. So I was like, then I won't feel like, you know, third wheel. So that's the kind of like, you know, I mean, if my cousin's there, he's not with anybody and I'm not, then I feel okay. And best time I ever had. Like, best. I mean, it was great. It was a little cool, breezy, meaning cold, but cool, not cold, but cool. But when we got to the town, they dropped us off. Oh my gosh. It was so warm. I was like, oh, I want to take the coat off because on the boat it was freezing. So, I mean, it goes through, it leaves out of New Jersey, Highlands, Atlantic Highlands. I don't know the difference between Atlantic Highlands. I think it's Highlands. And it goes up and through New York and under bridges. And I couldn't tell you the exact route. But it drops you at Cold Springs, I believe is the town. Well, there was so many things to see, and it was, like I said, so warm and everything. And then it was the fall after I had broken up with Steven, so that was another thing. It was kind of, so we went to dinner at this place. We made a reservation when we got there. That was told to us that a suggestion made. If you want to eat at, this place or that, but so we did. We made a reservation, and there was, let's see, there was 8 of us. There had to be 8 of us. I'm counting 9. Let's see. My cousin and her husband, my sister and her husband, my brother and his wife, me and my 8. I don't know where I got 9 from, people, but at night I like driving through this road. I smell the fireplaces. A lot of these people must use fireplace, and I do see apartments over garages and stuff. I always thought that would be cool, to live there. Not that I don't love where I'm at now. But, so, we laughed, we jokes, I mean, oh my God, our bellies hurt. We laughed so much. Best time ever. My cousin ain't with her husband, isn't with her husband anymore. My brother isn't with his wife anymore. My cousin doesn't come to things really anymore. But yeah, those 2 marriages kaput. So the only marriage intact out of the married couples that were there is my sister and her husband. So, but great time. So if they wouldn't have asked me, because it was all couples, I would have missed out on a really great time. And there's been other things. Oh, a comedy show we went to, and I just asked a friend who was a guy, and we went. It was a great time. We went to dinner beforehand, then we went there to the comedy show, and great time. Really awesome time. Laughed so hard. Comedians were great. One was a little too risque. I mean, it didn't need to be that disgusting. It was disgusting. It was too dirty, if that's even possible. And I'm not a prude at all. My sister was really appalled. But I just thought it wasn't necessary, the things she was saying. I have seen Ray Romano. I took my grandmother for her 80th birthday. Let me tell you, the 2 of us laughed so hard our bellies hurt. Not one perverted thing, one curse word, because I was nervous. I'm like, I'm taking my 80-year-old grandmother, oh my God. And awesome. Went to see Kevin James. I don't know that he cursed. I can't remember if he did. It wasn't something that stood out. And not dirty, and I mean, a little joke about my wife, and she's got a headache or something like that, but again, laughed so freaking hard. So a little sub story within my story, as always. Get a couple of those, not a lot of them. So like I said, I would have missed out if I wasn't asked. And another time, it was my sister or my brother-in-law. One of them won tickets to a comedy. Oh, sorry. First time yawning. I think I yawned more on my drive home. Yeah. They had comedy, tickets to a comedy club, whatever. And asked me. And my nephew went. And my other nephew went. And so it wasn't all my brother-in-law, my sister, his brother, his wife. So, and I think they actually wound up not using one of the tickets. But it was fun. It was fun night. So, if you're one of those couple people out there, ask those. Invite the friend. And if they want to say no, they'll say no. And you can put it, because I've had someone, listen, I don't want you to feel obligated that you have to come because, but I'm having this thing, and it's mostly all couples that I know of that are coming. If you feel comfortable, I'd like you to be there, but I would totally understand if you don't. And last year, I went to my friend's holiday party. I was dreading going because I don't know. She said it wasn't a fix-up. I felt like it was a fix-up. I felt like he was interested. That's a story for another time. To see what you think, if he was interested or not. I might even done a video on it. Who knows? Lose track. Brain isn't what it used to be. So I said, you know what? I'm going. And I'm going alone. And I'm going to walk in alone. That was a big step for me, because there was a lot of people I didn't know there. And it was going to be a lot, and it basically was all couples. And I know her brother and wife. I know her kids. I know one of her friends. Yeah, were they all couples? But I went up to them. How you doing? Whatever. I'm talking to them. I had a conversation with them. I initiated that conversation. Some didn't go so far. But sorry. It's 9:30. I have to walk the Jazzer, who, oh my God, came today. Her set of onesies, which she loves. It's Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, kind of spring. It does have kind of bunnies on it or whatever. Memorial Day / and 4th of July, and hey, Labor Day. And which my son says, since when are red, white, and blue? And I'm like, really? I don't know. Labor Day. That's what I think of. And then also a summer one. It has a summer theme on it with, I think sun and ice pops and maybe a beach ball or flowers. Or a pail and a shovel. I don't know. But it's kind of a summer theme. So there's 5. So I put them on today. Very cute. So cute. I think they're adorable. And she loves them. And I got a large only because the medium I thought would just fit, and they're not like the one I just took off of her was 5 below. I think it's going in the garbage. It says dream big, but there was a hole in it on the one leg. It really didn't go down to her butt because it got a medium. So she likes it. She does like them covering her whole body, but she also likes it to like cover her whole body. Like, she likes it in both all 4 legs, both sets of legs, I was gonna say, but all 4 legs, and blah, blah, blah. So, okay. So, I think, I thought a large would give her a little more room. Plus, it's like, it feels almost nylon-y, like, polyester. That's the word I'm looking for. So, I'm so sorry. But I figured that once I wash it and dry it, it might shrink. But I figure hearts, hey, you can wear them and whatever. The shamrocks, I might not be able to get away with them. But I figure I should wear the hearts for the rest of February. Then March, we'll put the shamrocks, and she could wear it past St. Patrick's Day. And I don't know how they're going to wash up. They're, for 5, it was $24.99. So that's $5, a little less than $5 a pair. So about $5 a pair. Each one. Sorry. Oh my gosh, now I'm really yawning because I'm getting tired. But yeah, so that's like pretty awesome. And then April, well, I can't. March is Easter's early this year. Sugarness. So she won't be able to wear it the whole March, but probably the date, maybe like the Friday, Good Friday, I'll put the Easter one on. And like I said, it's springy and Easter. I didn't realize there was Easter eggs on it, but it's bunnies and flowers and stuff. So, which is fine. So she'll wear that, I guess, for April. And then May, I'll put the stars on her. And then June, we'll put the summer one on. July, we'll go back to the stars. August, we'll go back to the summer. September, we'll go back to the stars. And there you go. She does have a Christmas onesie. Christmas themed. But I'm thinking they're going to come maybe out. Maybe they're going to come out with like a fall, and like a Halloween, Thanksgiving. But even if I get a fall one, or it has 2 fall ones, because there's a whole package of Valentine's ones, and I'm like, no, we don't need that. So even if that, so a fall. I'm gonna be on the lookout for that next. And what I said there, I thought that was a notice, but my lock is taped. All of them are in this building. I don't know all the buildings. Maybe the system's down. The fob system. I don't know. But I really don't like it because anybody can walk in here at night. So maybe making sure I lock both of my doors. I remember back in the younger days, apartments had the chain too. So you had the knob, the bolt, and the chain. I wonder why they don't do, well, I guess someone could just kick in and that comes off, the trim or whatever. But I had a really good time tonight, and I think I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna read for a bit. I have that book, The Rules, and I read like maybe the second chapter. I don't know if I got into or completed. I know I didn't complete the second chapter. I don't know if I got into it, but yeah, so I'm gonna read that. So after I take Jazzy for a walk. And I'm sure I won't get far because I'm very tired. So I gotta wash my face too after I walk her. So, because I put makeup on. So, I have to wash my face every night, but I have to really scrub it because I put makeup on. So, I am going to take off my glasses. I don't know. I'm thinking, I kind of like myself with the glasses and went out the glasses. I don't know, because I think I'm getting used to it because I gotta wear them all the time. And I don't know what I did. Oh, my sunglasses, I think are in my pocketbook. But yeah, I want to know, like, have you been in that situation? Or were you in the situation where you're like, oh, should we ask so-and-so? Oh, it's all couples. And then you feel weird not asking your friend because, and then you're kind of, oh, what are you doing next week, next Saturday night? You know, and then you're like, I planned. Oh, what are you doing? Because I'm like, oh, then you feel weird answering. And I have always invited people and left it up to them. I didn't feel like leaving anybody out. So I even did that for March 23rd. I'm having friends over, and I'm like, people that are with people that aren't with people. So it's just, but have you been in that situation where you've been left out? Have you been in the situation where you kind of want to invite a friend and the other people are like, oh, but it's all couples? Or have you invited people and say, hey, it's all couples, I don't want you to feel obligated, but I don't want you to feel like you're not invited. And if you got that kind of an invitation, how would you feel? Like I said, my friend had her holiday party. I knew there was going to be all couples except, well, her kids didn't come. Well, her daughter did, but her one daughter didn't, and her son didn't. So they were kind of each other's date. That's weird, they're brother and sister. But at least they had, and everything else, everybody else that was there was couples. And the one time she did mention something about something, and I was like, oh. She goes, oh, it was all couples. It was like a dinner party with couples. Okay. And some old married couples might welcome, another person there. So I'm not saying romantically, just another person to talk to. Or, hey, how's the dating world? How's the, some people are very like, and my old boss was there tonight. We're friends, and the other girl that I worked with, that I'm friends with, and she really, they're both of them. They're like, if anything, and my husband ever says we're getting divorced, or anything happens to him, I'm done. And yeah, I'm not dating. I'm done. I'm like, they're young. They're younger than me, 10 years younger than me. Maybe even more than 10 years younger than me. So, yeah. So that's like weird to me. Like, you're so young. So, I don't know. Maybe they'd. But, alright. So I'd love to hear your feedback. Positive, negative. Think I'm crazy. You think couples should go out as couples. And I'm not saying they shouldn't. And someone said to me, listen, this is a couples thing, and all couples are right. That's the problem. No problem. But if it's not a couples thing, like that fall foliage cruise wasn't a couples thing, and I was glad they asked me, but I think they asked me because Stephen and I had just, and I'm, and like I said, I'm now starting to go to things, and a friend of mine said, you could do this. Walk in proud. Yeah, I'm alone, and I'm fine with it. And am I 50-50 sometimes? Yes, sometimes no. So, but I walked into that party like, hey, my friend said, oh, she goes, oh, sorry, couldn't talk to you. It's like, that was fine. I had a great time. You know, I was talking to your brother, your sister-in-law, your friend and her husband, your kids, you know. Some other people straggled over, was talking to them. So, yeah, had a great time. So, I think I've talked long enough and my eyes literally are closing. So, I really don't know if I'll get reading done tonight. But I know tomorrow night will be an earlier night because my friend, you know, we're going to meet earlier and we're going to probably, you know, earlier night. So I'll be glad for that. All right. So I will talk to you all later. Bye.